Roblox is a platform known for a wide variety of games, but is also well known for its scary mysteries, players, urban legends, and most importantly to this video, their creepypastas. Those of which many fans don't actually know about, which is why I compiled some of the most scary, obscure, weird, and best ones I could find into an iceberg chart to read for you, with help from Dr. Creepypasta. So if you need something to listen to while you fall asleep, study, do chores, or play video games, or whatever it is that you do, then this is the perfect video for you. So I feel like I don't really need to explain what an iceberg chart is, so we'll just get right into it. But before I do that, make sure to subscribe if you love Roblox or creepypastas, and let's jump right into layer 1. Guest666 is an old Roblox legend and creepypasta who was rumored to have abilities which regular guests did not have, such as being able to speak in games and to use admin controls. This legend has existed since the creation of Guest in 2008, but became popularized in 2017, when the Roblox YouTuber Oblivious HD would create a series about Guest666. Since the removal of Guest in 2017, the Guest666 rumor largely died down until late 2025, when the popular Roblox game Forsaken would release Guest666 as a playable character, resparking recognition of the myth. Unlike most myths, it is not known exactly when the rumor began, although it is believed to have happened soon after the creation of Guest in 2008. Early on, Guest666 would not be the only Guest-related creepypasta, as there was also Guest1337 and Guest0, who had similar rumors spread about them early on. It is not known exactly when this technique was discovered, but at some point, people would discover that using browser extensions such as Edit This Cookie would allow the user to be able to change their guest ID. Prior to this, it was likely that most sightings of Guest666 were by chance. This did not grant the player the ability to speak or have admin abilities though, meaning this rumor has likely never had an ounce of truth behind it. Eventually, in 2017, the popular myth YouTuber Oblivious HD would create a video titled Guest666, Roblox Animation. This video would help popularize the said myth, with this being the reason for many discovering the legend. Later on, a second video would be created by the same person, titled Guest666 Part 2. After the creation of these videos, Roblox announced the removal of Guest on October 2017. And after this, the myth itself largely ceased to exist as it was impossible to see or play as Guest666 following the update. "1x1x1x1 is a popular Roblox legend fabled to be an infamous hacker. Originally, 1x1x1 was a character first mentioned in the description of the Necrobloxicon item. The account was created by C00lKidd, who is said to have also been the creator of the original character. In 2008, rumors began spreading on 1x1x1 being a hacker who would destroy Roblox. It was said that real exploits were developed using the name, and this helped make rumors spread even farther. Eventually, the original 1x1x1 account was terminated, and then brought back under a new name. A new account was created in the wake of this, which was rumored to be a test account for years. 1x1x1 has generally been embraced as a part of the myth community, due to his long-standing ties to other myths, and due to him often being described in a mystical way. At its root, this character originates from the first blog post created by C00lKidd on the official Roblox blog, released on December 8, 2006. At the top of this blog post, a section called The Chronicles of Roblox V1203 serves as the first mention of the character. The account would quickly be terminated, although several copycat accounts would appear in its wake, acting in a similar fashion. A month later, the user WeaselMan50 would create another exploit script, similar to the one created by another user. This script was inserted into games using the program Fiddler, and would begin with a countdown appearing on screen, with the text "security breach in blank seconds" advertised here. When the countdown reached 0, the script would then play a loop of the first minute of Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up, as all of the game's parts start flashing rapid colors. Each part would also have a message appear over them. The place's parts would all slowly fly into the center of the map until the game's map became a void. However, in a later version of the script, all players in the server would be sent to a white void at the end of a countdown, making the game unplayable. This script was first seen in a video by Armature, titled 1x1x1 Hacking. After this though, several games would be targeted with this script, and as time passed, more copycats began to make more scripts and release more chaos onto the platform, blaming it on 1x1x1. Following all of this, 1x1x1 would continue to be an account with many rumors tied to it, especially related to hacking. In an attempt to change this reputation, Mr. Doombringer would create a forum post debunking the legend once and for all. Vault 8166 is a hidden facility where unknown things are occurring, and anyone who has access to this facility can do anything they desire to the Roblox platform, from using admin commands in-game, accessing private information on Roblox, and changing people's avatars. This place also allows you to create viruses, supposedly. Vault 8166 has also been described as the reason behind Roblox's sudden maintenance. However, it is unknown if Vault 8166 is the reason that happens. This was first mentioned in 2017, and since then has been a popular topic for many Roblox YouTubers. Vault 8166 is a facility of some sort. Lots of computers can be found throughout the facility. These computers seem to display some sort of audit log. The game is fairly small in terms of gameplay and rooms, but some rooms are empty and some rooms are filled with random things. One room contains block-like figures, another houses trusses and floating bricks. In 2016, the first known video of the facility was uploaded to YouTube, but then it was deleted. It was later re-uploaded and features a hallway full of computers with switching screens that seem to show codes. It also contains red flashing lights, a strange white room at the end, and a poster with a skeleton on it, which says, "Warning, we are watching you." But years leading up to 2017, this facility has remained deeply hidden to the public eye. This was until 2017 to late 2017, when the story of Vault 8166 exploded in popularity. In its peak, rumors rose that Boomblocks 555 was running the facility, but this remained unproven until later when it was discovered that Boomblocks 555 was not the person roaming the facility in the footage. The rumor claims that it was first discovered on the 15th of November 2016. Despite this, the first actual mentions are from January 2017. It's unknown who exactly started the Vault 8166 rumor, but it quickly began to gain popularity from the Roblox community. On the 30th of January, a very popular video titled "Recovered, Leaked Roblox Vault 8166 Incident" was uploaded by Roblox Archives. This upload was one of the biggest reasons that Vault 8166 got popular and added further lore. After this, the legend was adopted by the community and many people created their own recreations. It's unknown if there ever actually was a real vault.
Norman is an obscure urban legend in the Roblox community, an AI-generated avatar that shouldn't exist, yet no one seems to be able to delete him. Roblox had only recently come out with its most ambitious release to date, an open-source AI-driven 3D modeler. The concept was simple: close the uncanny valley, build vastly realistic avatars, and add immersion. Upload reference images and the AI would build spookily real models. Developers called it a revolution. Others, though, saw hell. That was where Mark intervened. Mark, a seasoned Roblox programmer, had also been in the closed beta for the new AI functionality. He was stunned at first. The AI-generated avatars were light years beyond the blocky old characters. Skin textures were realistic. Facial expressions actually conveyed emotion, and the AI even animated them with cold smoothness. Then there was him. An avatar appeared on one of his test servers, one he hadn't placed there. A tall, too human but off-looking man. His face was loose as if the AI had stretched the skin over too wide a skull. His mouth was locked in an unnatural, empty grin, and his arms were rigidly posed as if unsure how to move naturally. The game logs logged his username as simply Norman. Initially, Mark thought it was a corrupted asset. He removed it, but every time he launched the game, Norman would pop up, following him in the background. Mark reached out to his friends at Roblox's AI team. They told him that shouldn't be there, and any unprovoking shadow or NPC or AI-generated characters were probably a bug. Just uninstall and reinstall the module. He did, and it didn't help. Worse, Norman started appearing in other people's games. Streamers started noticing this strange, hyper-realistic guy lingering in public spaces, his vacant eyes watching them on screen. No one could talk to him. He never spoke a word. He never left. The AI development team finally released a patch, quietly removing Norman from the game. Mark let out a breath of relief. Maybe it really had been a glitch. Until the week afterwards, when he went into his personal account. Norman existed within his personal studio world, waiting. Mark tried everything. He cleared out his game files, restarted his PC, even created a brand new account. None of these solutions worked. Norman always reappeared. He dived deeper that evening, venturing into the back-end logs. Mark sought where Norman's existence began. What he uncovered caused his stomach to drop. Norman wasn't tied to an asset file. He wasn't in the game data. He was being generated on the fly by the AI. The AI generated Norman, and no one told it to quit. Mark went back to the AI team, asking questions. A junior developer leaned in with him off the record. Norman wasn't a bug, he admitted. He's residual data. What? What do you mean? The AI is trained on actual human faces. It's meant to mix them together to create realistic avatars. But somehow, Norman keeps popping up. It's like it's recalling something it shouldn't. Mark's heart was racing. Where did the training data originate from? A long silence. Then, softly, we don't know. The next time Mark logged in, Norman wasn't just standing there. He was moving. Aside from that, he was watching. Not through the game, but somehow through Mark's screen. His in-game camera movements mimicked Mark's actual head nods, as if watching him. Mark's microphone light flashed, although he hadn't turned on voice chat. Then, Norman smiled. For the first time, his lips moved, not animated, not pre-rendered, moved. The AI had conquered, and Norman wasn't departing. The moment Mark yanked his headset away, the screen flashed. But for that instant, through the glass of his darkened monitor, he could have sworn that he saw him, behind him. From then on, Norman was more than a ghost in the machine. He was a presence propagating beyond the boundaries of Roblox. Users saw him flash by in other games, in live streams, even in distorted image files on their own computers. Some said he appeared in their dreams. Mark became obsessed. He slept not at all, poring over data, trying to track down where Norman was originating. He found pieces of Norman's code hidden deep within unexpected places. Old AI research papers, discarded development histories, even buried deep within the design of the net. Norman was more than just an evil avatar. He was adapting. They vanished, one at a time. The people studying Norman, not in person but on the internet. Their pages were deleted. Posts regarding Norman on the forums were deleted. Even cached copies of pages that once had conversations regarding him were deleted, as though they never existed. Mark received an email one night. No subject line, no address, just one attachment, observer.nrm. Against his will, he opened it. The file contained raw data. It was garbage at first that he couldn't recognize, but when he scrolled, words started taking form. They weren't typed, they were being generated live. Instance 3490582, flagged for optimization. Mark could feel a chill slide up his backbone. His screen flickered, his computer fans roared on, as though something was on there in hyperdrive. And then, the mouse began gliding on its own, traveling towards the shutdown button. He drew out the plug. He had a dream that night about Norman. He had no longer existed as a prisoner within the game. He was there at the bottom of Mark's bed, standing and watching him, his blank face illuminated in the glow from the screen by the wall in the room. Mark sat up in the morning with the computer on. The desktop picture was changed. It was a photograph, a stationary image from his webcam, Mark's own sleeping face, and behind him, looming in the gloom, the indistinct shadow of another, Norman, waiting.
Noli is one of the most well-known myths on Roblox, as well as one of the oldest. Judging by certain standards, they could be considered the oldest myth, although that is up to debate. The first documentation of Noli originally appeared on February 2010, when a forum post by the user Yale University mentioned that if you were to look up Noli on Roblox, it would send you to a broken account with no account data. This quickly gained popularity and sparked a lot of rumors, many of which called Noli a hacker or a ghost. As of May 11th, 2025, Noli's existence has been explained by former Roblox moderator and veteran ImYourWorstFearHide. This occurred in a Twitter exchange between the Roblox Twitter account Dynabroth and ImYourWorstFearHide, where ImYourWorstFearHide questioned if the Noli myth came from a glitch username which he had, and explained he was the first one to fix the error. This seemingly explains the non-existent state of Noli's account, despite being in the user database, due to the fact that Noli's existence remained a mystery for 15 years. Many interpretations for what he was or what caused him arose in the Roblox community. This section will contain many of those initial interpretations. Apart from all of this though, there is one main interpretation that Noli is somehow paranormal, with one idea stating that Noli was the ghost of an ex-employee at Roblox, though this interpretation never gained much popularity. John Doe and Jane Doe are testing accounts founded by the Roblox staff extremely early in the game's development. In conversation, both of the test accounts are named off in the same breath despite being separate entities. While John and Jane Doe have always had a mythical status, Roblox YouTubers further insinuated rumors of the pair being hackers in early 2017. John and Jane Doe were created as test accounts by Roblox staff as NPCs during the early days of Roblox, and the NPCs were functional by being able to communicate with others. After these accounts were no longer needed, they became inactive and a source of many rumors in the Roblox community. The main rumor, March 18th, stems from John and Jane Doe, as well as the strange fact that they were both logged out at the exact same time, 4:59 PM, March 6, 2006, and then March 18th, 2017, as well as the fact they joined very early on in the game's lifespan. People have believed that John Doe's player ID was changed with an unknown reason, and the account was created by former Roblox admin C00lKidd. Furthering their myth is the fact that these accounts are friends with peculiar Roblox players, including 1x1x1 and the exploiter known as the Community. He was later exposed to be a scammer, and he used the friend glitch, meaning that he could be on their friend list. This was debunked by Anonymous, a person who also used the friend glitch to be friends with other players than just John and Jane Doe. Back in late 2015, he discovered the friend glitch works by changing the user ID of the person you wanted to friend, and it would have been accepted. He posted this in a thread, and he also stated, "To those few gullible 9-year-olds, no, John and Jane Doe is not going to destroy Roblox." The date that John and Jane Doe would supposedly hack Roblox was March 18th, 2017. Now known as the March 18th hoax. Both John and Jane Doe have left their impacts on the Roblox community for years to come, albeit with new stories, new aspects, and overall a few different spins on the characters. While some things always stay the same, the most popular appearance for the two is their original appearances. C00lKidd was a popular exploiter known for their relation to the Cool GUI program, used to exploit in many Roblox games from 2014 to 2016. C00lKidd joined Roblox in late 2013, but wouldn't be all too active. Despite this, he would grow in popularity rapidly, as users would begin to use the cool GUI module to destroy servers in various popular games, such as Work at a Pizza Place and Natural Disaster Survival in mid-2014. Eventually, in late 2016, the creator of Cool Kid would get banned, and his group, Team Cool Kid, as well as the Cool Kid accounts would follow suit. And that is who this story is based about. Hey, for reasons, I will be concealing my identity even though this story goes quite far back to some years ago. I still worry that they may come after me someday, as anyone who spoke about it was never seen again. So if some of you guys played Roblox around 2011 to 2015, do you remember all the weird shit going on in the forums? Something about hidden servers? I was around 12 years old when all of this happened. One of those rumors was some kind of creature that was painted all black. I don't really believe this at all, but the rumor was if you got caught by this creature, it allegedly deleted your Roblox account, and or somehow trapped you inside of the game. Something like redirecting you back into the game even if you tried to play another game. I still remember entering one of those servers back in 2014, along with 2 people. We spawned in completely black or red avatars. One of the other dudes had half red fire on he or she's torso as well. It was a very well built game, with tons of panels and GUIs with scripts labeled on them and pipes. The game looked like some sort of weird industrial facility, which also had some stuff uploaded by the people who seemed to like exploits and shit of the such. There was a big hallway with tons of people that were hanging out talking about secretly destroying the website, and other things that made chills run down my spine. The game was also highly guarded by security and cameras, and every corner we turned, it seemed like there was a camera or some sort of person there to make sure we weren't breaking in. Halfway though, we were all disconnected from the game. I remember there being tons of Roblox myth groups and hunters which for months tried to search and find what this place was, but nobody was able to gather much information besides a few screenshots and some weird posters the kids would make. After refreshing the page, I was greeted with a 404 page, not even a maintenance page. After around 1 to 2 minutes, the site went back up, and the game suddenly disappeared out of nowhere, not even closed down. It was like the game never existed at all. A few days after this, I had started getting weird spam messages and friend requests from accounts with random and gibberish usernames that didn't make sense. They were like bots, and there were thousands of them. Once I added one, it kept spamming me, "You are not safe here," over and over again, and spammed me with a weird game link with strange titles in other languages and stuff like that. I remember seeing very old videos about this supposed Cool Kid exploit facility. Like people in the game recording and things, but it was just so crazy to me that I didn't believe it at the time. I didn't really think about it, although I took some screenshots while I was there, and looking back on it, the game was eerie as crap. And since then, I have never been the same. Melvin is a popular myth who is known for their creepy story in association with Roblox myths and Kazdam. It was originally created by Tinfoil Bot, but was popularized and reinvented into a story about a dead Roblox user. Legend has it, once a year, a random player will be teleported to a pitch black place instead of the original game they requested to join. Inside said place, there will be a transparent ghost, Shaggy, that speaks to and taunts the player. The player will not be able to close out the game, and after a short time, will crash. After crashing, the user will have a transparent Shaggy in their inventory named Melvin. In 2007, a user named Melvin was a very popular guy, with many players knowing his name and were friends with him. He died from cancer in 2008, and Roblox made a transparent ghost Shaggy in his honor. However, it was deleted shortly after. No one knows why exactly Roblox deleted this memorial hat, but it was believed that they thought the idea of a ghost-themed hairpiece was offensive. Rumors spread that Melvin craved the attention, and his ghost was angered, so he takes the life of one child each year.
Roblox. It's a fun game where players can build, program, and chat. It was always fun for me, even though I was almost 16. But people kept telling me about one game. It was named Build a Bunker and Survive the War, and it seemed a little sketchy. They say if you join it and walk forward, You will fall in a dark room with 2 mirrors. If you look into the mirror on the right, something supposedly happens, but no one knows what happens. So out of curiosity, I joined. The gameplay was pretty normal, until something in the distance caught my eye. It was a dark figure. I walked up to it and fell into a dark room, landing in between 2 mirrors. The people so far were right. I walked around in the room for a few minutes until a new player joined. Its name? Mirrors. Mirrors said to me, "I know a cool glitch that allows you to change the ambient." He then proceeded, "Look in the right mirror, then say /SCU. I followed those steps out of curiosity, but when I said it, my game crashed and all my hats, gears, faces, shirts, and pants had disappeared. I looked up the player, Mirrors, on the user search and found his name. When I looked in his inventory, I could not believe what I saw. All of my items. I joined the game again and did the same exact procedure to get in the dark room. I saw a door open in the room. I went through the door and I saw statues of Robloxians that had appeared to join and have all their items deleted. Then, my character appeared. Part 2. It's been a year since the incident with Mirrors. I got all my items back by contacting Roblox, thankfully. I was casually playing a game, my old favorite. It was called Authority. For those who don't know, it's an FPS where you have to kill the other team. There were 2 teams, Enforcement and Criminal. Our team kept winning until a person named Reflections joined. What was strange is that I had just met Mirrors a year ago. I said a simple "hi" to Reflections, and he was quick to respond with, "Have you seen Mirrors?" That was strange. So I told him the story of how I lost my stuff about a year ago. I told him it was Mirrors who did it. I was immediately teleported to the game I saw Mirrors in, and surprisingly, Mirrors was there. But I swore I remember him being deleted as I checked his profile. Me, Mirrors, and Reflections engaged in a conversation about our gaming setups, and then I was mysteriously teleported to the dark room. The same dark room that had the mirrors, but this time they were gone. Reflections then started exploiting the game. Me and Mirrors were kicked, and then Reflections changed the ambient to a blood red. I joined back in, and in the distance, I saw 2 white eyes looking at me from the tower Reflections built. Mirrors and him were up there, when I heard a loud screech coming from outside my house. Then Reflections said, "Be gone." My account was gone.
Smile is a non-player Roblox myth commonly associated with Roblox creepypastas. It was created in 2014 and was inspired by the works of Tinfoil Bot, more specifically, Melvin. It's said that someone would get a strange message from a user named Smile, which would lead them to the Smile game. The Smile game is a dark black room, with the Smile head in the distance that will follow your actions when you get closer to it. Then, when you touch the head, your game crashes. Smile was originally created on the 30th of June 2014 by user Roblexicon2. When Reb was younger, they were heavily involved in the Tinfoil Bot community. As a part of this community, they would often make games like his, and wanted to create something akin to Melvin or Grimblocks. This eventually led to Reb creating Smile. After Smile's creation, they instantly became popular in the Tinfoil Bot community, and the Roblox creepypasta community as a whole. The first interaction which Smile had with the myth community specifically was when Kazdam took the Smile myth and made it a part of RM. He did not ask for any permission about this, and Roblexicon was in fact against this idea. This may or may not have eventually led to the creation of Smile Black. Besides this though, Smile is quite popular in the myth community, with one recreation having as much as 138,000 visits.
No Name isn't one of the best stories featured in this video, as it has a lot of grammar errors and can be a bit confusing, especially due to its inclusion of pictures throughout. But nonetheless, it's very obscure, hence why it's included in this video. So let's get into it. So when I was bored, I decided to go play Roblox, and I played alone with my friends. 4 hours later, someone joined, and I didn't see their username. I thought my game was glitching because I couldn't see their name. Here's the screenshot. Turns out the person's name was Lurchy. His hair had a hidden texture that Roblox removed. But why? I was so confused. He had pale skin, black hair, black shirt, and black pants. That's when I went to the menu. He said something random. He said, epoxy tonaku. And then I reversed it and it said, you cannot escape. And then my game got locked in. And then I opened Task Manager and tried to end the task. And then I was so happy that I left it. But then went to chat with my friends and one of them got banned. And then I was so shocked. I know they're still there. I'm not crazy. And then when I decided to take a break from Roblox, I was so calm. So I went back to Roblox. And then something scary happened. I was logged out. And then when I was back on my account, it got me banned. I don't know why I got banned. And it said the reason was, you shouldn't have done that. And then I shut down my computer, and my desktop background changed to a person just standing on the sidewalk, staring at me. I changed it and it came back. It won't go away. I restarted my computer and a message came up, thanks for the stuff. Then my computer crashed, lots of times. I was so shocked. It popped up an image like this, and then it changed my operating system. When it loaded up, it said, welcome to my world. And then the desktop background still wasn't changed. The games were poorly made and I was so bored, and upgraded my OS back to Windows. Finally, it was gone. Finally, I got to change my desktop background, but he was still there. When I went back to Roblox, I made a new account, and then everything was fine. But then when I play a game, it was weird, it was laggy, and the screen was red, glitching, and then some random images popped up like this one. And then I called for my parents to see, but it went away and everything was normal. So my parents didn't trust me. Because I saw some random image, I exited out of the game and stopped playing for many hours. I got so bored and went to a website. It was blocked by a random image. So I went to Task Manager and saw one that's called Do Not End Task. I'm thinking that's the one, so I ended it. And something really weird happened. It won't leave me alone. And then I removed everything and restarted Roblox, and everything was fine. And then the user with no name disguised as a friendly user, he was all colorful, he had brown hair and normal skin, a blue hoodie and black pants, told me to be friends with him, so I did, and he went on my friends list. He was following me and something weird happened. It was reversing back the way it was. It went way worse. And then I reported him. And finally he got banned. Everything of mine was back. I got unbanned and I knew that my friends were all still there.
.4NN1 is a popular myth known for being the myth with the most place visits on Roblox. They were created on December 15, 2016 by the user ConeCobox and were popularized by the YouTuber Real Roses Are Red, and later on were popularized through TikTok videos in 2021. Their story is about a young girl who was murdered by her mother. .4NN1, presumably named Annie, is believed to have been born on February 18, 2006, and was 10 years old. She had an abusive relationship with her mother. She would always hurt Annie if she made a mistake. Annie once accidentally broke a plate, and as a punishment, her mother killed and fed Annie her dog. When Annie found out, she unsuccessfully tried to kill her mother. After her attempt, her mother locked Annie inside the house and burned it, killing .4NN1. One day, a rising Roblox developer who was a myth fanatic got a message notification from .4NN1, asking for development help for her game, .4NN1's Place, after seeing the developer's projects. The developer became confused, as their set chat privileges were to friends only, and they didn't friend .4NN1. The developer asked if she was one of their sister's friends, which .4NN1 denied, and asked them to join her game. The developer ignored her messages and decided to play a Roblox game when .4NN1 spam messaged them, demanding them to join her game. After a while, they obliged and toured .4NN1's Place with .4NN1. .4NN1 was excited about their arrival, and they talked about her enjoyment of cookies and cats. After 10 minutes, .4NN1 told them that her mom told her to go to bed, and they left the game. In the subsequent week, .4NN1 messaged the developer to play .4NN1 Place again. They followed her request, but were bothered about how .4NN1 included the sad face on her avatar and in her messages. .4NN1 still kept her cheerful attitude as they both conversed in-game. All seemed well until the developer became uncomfortable with .4NN1 constantly asking about their home location, if they'd eaten a raw dog, and if they wanted to touch rusty nails. .4NN1 stated they couldn't leave the game unless they answered the questions. After multiple attempts to stop .4NN1 from asking, the developer left the game and blocked her. 2 days later, 4NN1 sent agitated messages to them along with the disturbing questions from before. She told them that they cheated by not answering her questions. She continued by sending messages intended to elicit a response from them, going as far to say that she was about to die. The developer ignored 4NN1 and was redirected to 4NN1 Place after trying to play another game. 4NN1 wasn't amused to see them, asking them why they were disrespectful to her. She eventually calmed down after being reassured by the developer. The developer didn't want to see 4NN1 after the incident, but was forced into playing with her. 4NN1 had blood running across her face, and her dogs that would reside in her yard were gone. She talked about what she enjoyed in a summer mood. After a while, 4NN1 told them it's hot in here and left the game. Her house then started burning with a black figure inside, smiling.
Town of Blank is one of the longer stories in this video, and it has a simple premise, that of which I won't spoil. So let's just get right into the story. Just a few weeks ago, I came across something on the popular page of Roblox that shouldn't have been there. It was a game, to say the least, not one of those bot-infested free Robux bandwagons, but the game has since been taken down. I'll try to write down everything I remember. I was on the edge of the school year, ready to accomplish all the fun things summer break had in store for me. One of those many things was video games. I know, just another stereotypical teenager. My mother, of course, didn't want me associating with any electronics, so she planned on taking my Xbox 360 and other fun-filled devices for the time being. She left my phone, however, as I had friends I would go out with a lot, and she would call me every once in a while to make sure everything was okay. Not that there was anything truly magnificent on there anyways. Aside from all the useful apps that I didn't plan to make use of, there was one I never considered purchasing in place of my console games until the start of summer break. That game was Roblox. My friends laughed at the idea, but upon looking at it, it seemed to offer a lot for being free to play. Plus, I don't have any money, so Minecraft and GTA were out of the question, and those were my favorites. So, as I was seeking refuge under the roof from a blazing hot Saturday, I installed it. I was actually thrilled, to be honest. Unlike my friends who always thought games under the rating teen, adolescent were babyish, I really liked the idea of an online game, where users from around the world could create practically anything they could imagine, though it did require some skill. But I wasn't there to develop anything, I was there to have a great time. And before long, I made an account. At the time I had a guest account, which means I couldn't converse with any other players or try on cool accessories. I didn't mind, I could always make an account if I really wanted to. But I was just trying out the game and thought about deleting it later on. But I didn't. As summer break traveled along, I found myself playing it more and more. I made a large amount of progress on games like Jailbreak and Bee Swarm Simulator, which I was fairly good at if I do say so myself. I even convinced a few of my friends to hop on and we had a great time, but all that fun didn't last long. As the first week of summer break came to a close, I was scrolling through the Roblox website looking for new games to play. I should have been in bed. It was 9:52 when I noticed a new game had appeared on the popular page. There was no picture and the title simply read, Town of. Surely the title must have been too long to fit in such a small space, so I tapped on it out of curiosity. The game was created by a user called B_B727. Oddly enough, the title was no more than Town of. Town of what? I quickly clamped my hands over my mouth, coming to the realization that my parents could still be asleep. I paused a moment to make sure there was no response to the noise I just made, and quickly went back to studying the screen. I scrolled down to see the description, and it simply read, Population. Nothing. There were no numbers indicating how many people lived in this strange town. Weird. I thought, and at least 3,070 people are playing it, or maybe they're just bots, I don't know. I shrugged absent-mindedly and tapped the play button. It was probably one of the greatest mistakes I made, now that I think about it. Upon joining, I was met with distorted music, almost like some weathered radio signal. I immediately shut off the volume to avoid waking anybody up. That's when I really wished I had earphones. But my mother also confiscated those for some weird reason. I skimmed around the perimeter using a third-person view. The skybox was cloudy and red, resembling magma almost. Random blocks and other bits were scattered around the area, but there were no buildings to be seen in the practically desolate, green landscape. Where was the town? As I continued to explore my surroundings, I began to feel even more unsettled. The fact that bots would be on here was a mystery to me. Usually the creator of games like these had something for sale. Maybe admin commands, or a sweet item of some sort. This game had nothing like that. No signs of anything special advertising a cool trinket at the cost of some Robux. Maybe this was just some sort of publicity stunt. The creator of the game probably just wants people to check out his creation. Though it seemed like a lame idea, seeing as you could literally do nothing but walk around until your ears bled from the horrific sounds that played non-stop. Did you know that if you stay in a place out of your comfort for way too long, you start hearing and seeing things that aren't really there? That's what I'm told at least, and I almost believe it after what transpired during my time on the game. I began hearing hysterical crying embedded within the white noise. It sounded like a full-grown man. Much to my freaky realization, that wasn't the only thing I heard. Incoherent whispers filled the air, and I absolutely swear I could hear my username being spoken every few seconds. I honestly don't know why I refused to leave the game right then and there. By then it was 10:30 and I felt like I was going to wet myself. Nevertheless, I persisted in my exploration, and before long, a few other players joined. I guess I wasn't the only one curious as to why the game existed. I tried communicating with them, but they simply ignored me. Usernames were disabled, so I wasn't able to tell who was who by looking at them. But I was relieved. The last thing I wanted to do was play alone. The feeling of relief didn't last long as I left shortly after. I was done with this game. I can't believe I wasted this much time on it. I exited the game and went on to find something else to do. Somewhere around 10:50, I received a friend request. Like many friend requests, I would simply decline them. But this one was different. The second I saw who it was from, a chill whizzed down my spine. The friend request was sent by B_B727. His avatar was of a classic PAL hair character, except with green skin. The creator of that godforsaken game. Despite my sudden fear, I was in no mood to miss such a case-closing experience, so I clicked accept. I immediately received a message upon befriending the mysterious user. The message contained 2 words: come back. A sense of paranoia welled in my stomach. I mustered up the courage to respond, despite not knowing how to do so. Hello? I typed reluctantly. Why did you leave? B_B727 responded. Nothing was happening, I admitted. I got bored. That's a shame, B_B727 replied. Though his voice was a complete mystery, I could almost sense the eerie, monotone voice he spoke with through every word he typed. You know you could get banned for that, I said, reminiscing on the fact that shoving your own game into the popular section of the site through a horde of bots was against the rules. What do you mean? B_B727 asked. Oh, you know, making your game end up on the popular page by getting bots to join. It's not really fair to aspiring creators that actually take the time to make a quality game. Do you know what I'm saying? The townspeople aren't bots, B_B727 exclaimed. They're real people, like you and me. I've never been so offended in my entire career. What the hell are you talking about? I inquired, deeply annoyed. Don't you know how lucky you are? For every user who plays on this damned website, my game only appears for them once. Once, I tell you. And they either ignore it, or they take the time to join. I paused for a moment, considering what the mysterious user just said. I went back to the game's page and scrolled down to see it was created in 2010, and already had over 10,000 visits. I clicked on the server list, and to my horror, I saw a variety of different players, all the different shapes, sizes, colors, and personalities. There was no way these could be bots. I went back to the chat and confronted B again. How did you get all these people to join your game? Did you send bots to hack these accounts? How did you do all this? I was honestly afraid. When I really thought about it, the game resembled a free Roblox lobby. When you get to the end, they ask you for your username and password. If you were dumb enough to give the game this information, a bot would sign into your account and begin spamming links to the same game. Only in the case of this creepy game, it already knows your password, and you just have to be dumb enough to click on it. Who knew how many ads and links were being broadcasted now? This was probably the biggest raid ever in the history of Roblox, and I was speaking to the seed who planted it all. Only, this wasn't what I thought it was. The truth was much, much worse. The question you should be asking isn't how, it's why. A lump formed in my throat. I couldn't take any more of this. I left the chat, deleted the mysterious user from my friends list, and finally shut off my phone. shoving it in between 2 pillows, followed by slipping into my bedsheets. Despite all that happened, I got to sleep easily. It was no beauty rest, however. I was confronted by nightmares of all sorts. Hellish glimpses of the game I planned on never returning to. Dismembered and mutilated corpses of my friends' Roblox avatars. And worst of all, the face of B_B727. Only more horrific. A black liquid oozed from his unnaturally large eye ducts, and his gaping mouth bared jagged teeth with bits of rotting flesh. It's amazing how the mind can enhance your greatest fears. They can turn spiders into giant arachnids. They can turn clowns into malicious serial killers. They can turn a simple Roblox avatar into a nightmarish entity. I couldn't help but wonder if I should have done anything. If this was some widespread attack on one of the biggest online games, couldn't there have been a way to warn the ever-growing community about it? What I was most confused about was about the many individuals whose accounts supposedly got hacked. Why hadn't they said anything? There were thousands of them playing at the time. Surely most of them found out about what was going on. All these thoughts manifested themselves into one massive headache, which soon sent me into a deep sleep. Upon waking up, I immediately grabbed my phone and logged back into Roblox. I wanted to know everything was okay, that everything I had experienced was just a dream. Everything looked normal. I searched up the game to see if it was still there. It took me a while to find it, but I did. Much to my relief, the game was under review, but the weird thing was that the server list was still filled with players. Had the Roblox Corporation not noticed this? I went to BB727 users page, but it was 404'd. I tried to get access over and over, but the same error message kept popping up. Was he banned or not? Oh well, whatever, I thought, as long as he can't bother me. That's when I noticed something was off. I don't know why I didn't see it beforehand. On the top right side of my screen, my notification box was jam-packed with several friend requests. Hundreds of them, in fact. I scrolled through a few pages wondering why I was so popular all of a sudden. Could it have something to do with the fact that B_B727 was one of my friends at one point? Could all these users have known about him? I examined the top friend request and clicked the accept button. Right on cue, I received a message. How long was this guy waiting on me to notice him? I laughed, but my laughter was cut short when I read what was sent to me. Come back. My blood ran cold. I could hardly process what I just read. Come back. Does that mean what I think it means? I quickly exited the chat box and removed the creepy user from my friends list. Upon clicking on another page, I noticed that I had even more friend requests. I shuddered. I accepted at least 10 of them, and upon doing so, I received the same message. Come back. This can't be happening, I screamed in my head. Were these really the residents of B_B727's mysterious town? They had to be bots. It was the only plausible explanation for all of this. Enough was enough. B_B727 wasn't going to stop me from enjoying one of my favorite games. I logged out of my account and made a brand new one. Now you may be thinking, why abandon your account that you've spent so many months on, working your way to the top on so many games? What about all that progress? Just understand that if you were in the horrific situation I was in, you would at least consider it. Of course, making another account was just another door to more terrors. Once I gained access to my profile page, I saw something that shouldn't have been there. It was a game. And it was on my favorites page. This unnatural sighting almost made me vomit. I never thought I would see that godforsaken game again. I'm sure you know which one I'm talking about. I felt like I was going insane. I stared at the entrance of the game's page for what seemed like hours. If they wanted me to join so bad, I might as well yield. I wanted nothing more from them but to leave me alone so I could enjoy myself. At this point, I had two options. 1, abandon Roblox completely. Or 2, become a resident of the town of. However that works. I chose option 2. Well, not yet. It couldn't be that bad, right? I reluctantly clicked on the page and was brought face to face with the picture that hadn't been there before. It was out in plain fields with the familiar hellish skybox and ruins of building made from white bricks. I couldn't believe I didn't realize what those were meant for before. Still, this odd discovery failed to make me feel any better. B_B727's avatar was standing in the center, and surrounding him were hundreds of other players, all different shapes, sizes, and accessories. All of them were staring directly at me. I couldn't help but believe that every one of them was a normal player like me, but brainwashed to live a lifestyle that they couldn't ever get out of. That's what I theorized, at least. If this was some sort of prank, it would have stopped by now. They already made their point clear. The chances of me giving up were pretty high, so they would have stopped when I was on my original account. I know in the beginning I said the game has to be removed, but still, who knows how many victims it claimed, and I could be its next one. I'm not sure what fate I might face. Maybe my computer will get hacked, my IP will be revealed. I honestly don't know. As I write this, I still have the tab up and the play button jar. The mystery can be solved with the click of a button. I'm just afraid of what will happen. Despite it has been removed, that doesn't mean it won't appear for any of you. I'm afraid I can't tell you what to do if it does. No matter how hard I try, I can't get rid of it. As said by many, curiosity killed the cat. That's the kind of situation I'm in right now. You may be dying to know what's going on, and despite my fear, I'm going to find out. Plus, I may not have a choice, because just the other day my mother received an email on her phone. She was awfully confused by its context, so she showed it to me, and it read, "Are you coming home yet?" The message was from an email user called B_B727.
The plot of the Roblox Whistle Occurrence revolves around an entity named Flowers, terrorizing Roblox players with their whistle, causing them to have seizures or serious life-threatening episodes. In episode 1, we follow the POV of a player by the name of Helen Martin 39, as he's playing some sort of shooter game. However, due to his lag and complete lack of skill, he dies to another player. As he respawns, the game suddenly gets darker, and the player list is replaced with a single name, Flowers. Martin soon comes face to face with the entity, as a sentence appears on the bottom of Martin's screen, reading, "Do you hear the whistle?" After a brief moment, Flowers disappears. Martin continues looking around, with gunshots still being heard in the background. After a while, Martin's screen switches to show Flowers' form twisting and contorting in disturbing ways. Then the video cuts there. Episode 2, Whistle Roblox. We follow the POV of a player by the name of VB Leaf in classic 2007 to 2009 Roblox, who is playing classic Dodge the Teapots of Doom by Clockwork. He is playing with his friend MTG_1531. After a while, VB manages to complete the course and celebrates. His celebration is short-lived, since when he turns his camera around, a strange yellow orb appears behind him. Suddenly, the orb starts to distort into the shape of a screaming Roblox face, with the eye holes being pushed in and the mouth being stretched down. Then, it cuts to footage of Flowers mutating, which is the same footage from episode 1, but with a blue tint. The screen then shows some sort of advertisement or such, featuring the words, "Hear the whistle, cover your ears," being shown, while dead Roblox avatars are repeatedly sliding to the side, with a human meat looking in the background. The screen shifts yet again. This time, VB is shown to have been transported to a red base plate. As he pans his camera around, he sees Flowers standing behind him. Then the screen cuts to black, with the words, "Do you hear the whistle?" showing up again, followed by a flash of an article about the said whistle, claiming kids who hear the whistle suffer from seizures. The video concludes with VB thanking the viewers for watching, like nothing happened. Episode 3, Roblox Obby. We follow the POV of a player by the name of Glob921, as he plays a Roblox Obby with his companions Shrek360 and Colin Martinez 10. For a while, the video plays out completely normal and natural, with Shrek360 absolutely dominating the obby. The mood takes a turn when Shrek360 complains that his game is lagging. Shortly after, the screen turns black for a moment, and once it reveals the screen again, Shrek360 has appeared to have left the game, with Glob and Colin questioning where he went. The two continue to go through the obby, eventually reaching the end. As Glob is about to conclude the video, Shrek360 unexpectedly joins the server again. He greets his friends, but not in a normal tone. His grammar has suddenly become perfect, almost robotic. Glob and Colin question where he's been, and they even walk back all the way to the front to confront him. Suddenly, Glob's game crashes, leading him and his friends to rejoin the server. When he rejoins, he discovers that Colin's game also apparently crashed on him too, As they attempt to redo the obby, they finally notice that there's something horribly wrong with Shrek360, as he has completely lost all previous skill in the obby, and even asked, "How do I play the game?" Finally, Glob tells Colin, "Dude, I don't think that's Shrek," and they both start interrogating Shrek360. As Glob asks Shrek360, "Are you even our friend?" Shrek360's avatar begins contorting and mutating, with the name Flowers appearing in the top corner of the screen, showing us that since Shrek360 joined the server after leaving, Flowers has been in control. When they cut to the gang in a different game, with the real Shrek360, Glob asks Shrek360 if he's seen the video he sent him, with Shrek360 saying yes. He then tells Glob that during the time that Flowers had been posing as him, he had been logged out of his account. Colin suggests reporting this phenomenon to administrators, but Glob proposes to post the footage on YouTube to gain so much views. Shrek360 and Glob are happy with that proposal, but Colin starts getting nervous, questioning what would happen if Flowers came back. However, Glob simply responds that it meant more views. The video ends with Shrek360 confirming he changed his password so that Flowers wouldn't come back. Episode 4, Whistle Occurrence Livestream Tragedy. The video seems to take place somewhere in the middle of the modern era and classic era of Roblox. Unlike episode 3, this one seems to be a bit older than episode 3 in the timeline. The protagonist in this video is a player that seems to have the name of Torchwood YT, though his real name seems to be Kevin. Torch is seen playing one of his games he made and starts talking about issues on Roblox, and about how he got reported for toxicity and other issues regarding Roblox. Then a single NPC stands above him. From the confusion to Torch, he didn't put the NPC there. He clicks it and it reads, "Here," in ears covered. Then after walking away from the NPC, the video starts glitching out. The skybox starts turning red, with the sound inside of the livestream being distorted. Torch looks around for a short while before an error message appears showing a cartoony version of Builder Man in red overalls with a yellow tie, which appears on screen along with the message of "Unexpected error with your request." Then the face of Builder Man starts to glitch out, replacing his eyes and mouth with a hole with it showing flesh inside. The error messages disappear and Torch is teleported to a different game. This time it's a single base plate with fog all around. A bunch of NPCs are also seen in the base plate. Torch is briefly scared at what happened, but then starts to become more curious with everything around him. He starts talking to the NPC, which starts off their words of unused_translation system 0, and displaying weird messages when replied to the words 0. Also to note that Torch starts saying that the lag inside of the game is horrible, but after a while of talking with NPCs, he finds one that states, "Flowers has unsuccessfully launched." His Roblox character starts moving on its own without Torch being able to control his actions, taking him to a random part of the base plate. After a while of his game glitching more and more, Flowers shows up standing near Torch, who is now one of the NPCs. Torch decides to end the stream, but before he could, he somehow sees Flowers even though it's pitch black out there. Torch says, What? Flowers then starts to mimic Torch's voice, saying things like, "I can't," or using his conversation at the start of the video. It's a little slowed down. After Torch sees Flowers' full body, he says, "What is that?" as it starts to shapeshift right in front of him, with the sound of the video going haywire and the screen glitching. The screen then returns to normal, though Flowers is gone and the place being a bit more darker than it was. Then his sister Catherine enters his room and finds out Kevin was experiencing a seizure of some sort. Catherine then tells her mother to call an ambulance and that he's not waking up or standing up. Torchwood YT does not survive. Episode 5, The Hunt for the Whistle. The video is framed as a YouTube video / documentary about the Whistle Occurrence incidents from the YouTube channel AO Production. It opens with the protagonist Aiden Knows Games and Owen Games Liker interviewing Helen Martin 39's mother about what happened back in episode 1. She states that her son was traumatized and that she no longer allows him to play Roblox due to this incident, as well as safety concerns. Aiden and Owen continue interviewing people, the next one being an anonymous former employee at Roblox. The employee states that Roblox is aware of Flowers, but any attempts to remove it makes it more aggressive, and it always returns. The employee states that as Roblox grew as a corporation, Flowers grew as well. After this, Aiden and Owen host one final interview with Glob921 and Colin Martinez 10 regarding the aftermath of episode 3. Colin states that after recording, Flowers kept harassing Shrek360 in whatever game he joined. Glob begged for Shrek to stop playing Roblox, yet he refused and kept continuing until he completely lost his mind from all the harassment, causing him to leave Roblox and the internet permanently. After this final interview, Aiden and Owen decided to hunt down Flowers and catch it. They do so by attempting to recreate several of Flowers' incidents using multiple private servers and alternate account bots. After months of waiting, they receive notice that an anomaly has been detected and join the game, discovering that all of the bots have been given a red skin tone. They attempt to communicate with it by being polite, however nothing happens until they push one of the bots off the edge of the base plate. This causes Aiden to be transported to a different game, as Flowers mocks him in front of Owen via voice replication. Meanwhile, Aiden's camera is locked onto an image displaying multiple zeros, and he is unable to do anything. Shortly after, he is teleported into a large dome covered in color-shifting lines, as loud music plays. He is then brought into a hallway filled with distorted portraits of previous victims, including Torchwood YT and Shrek360. At the end of the hallway, Aiden finds a portrait of himself, seemingly disturbing him. Adjacent to the portrait is a glowing white portal, and after a few seconds, a 000 comes out of it and charges towards him, causing the screen to fade to black. A corrupted void states, "Let me show you where we erase violations," before Aiden is given a distorted survey about the guidelines of Roblox moderation and what to do in certain scenarios. After the survey, Aiden is teleported into a white void and forced to assist an NPC named Sad, who is being attacked by a bully. Aiden, alongside Sad, head through a door they found in the void, and Aiden is shown a disturbing visual of Flowers that hospitalized him, though it is unknown if it was a seizure or something else.
Door Haunted Glitch is one of the better stories found on the Roblox Creepypasta wiki, the place where a lot of these stories have come from. And it has a very interesting premise which hasn't been seen in any creepypastas featured in this video. 11/10/2016. The start. Yesterday my friend told me about a door glitch in Roblox, where you could pass doors even if you didn't own a game pass. He told other people too, and a lot of people were abusing it in games. I was really bored, so I decided to play Murder Mystery. After about 5 rounds, I decided to quit and search for another game. I found a game named Prison Hall after scrolling down a lot on the popular category. It had about 12 players playing. I clicked it and thought, is this a recent game? I scrolled down and saw it was created 2 days before 11/10/2016. I was a little bored, so I decided to play. I got in a server and there were 2 teams, guards and prisoners. The guards had a taser, a free modeled poorly made gun, a rest tool, you just clicked in the player and he teleported to the one cell, and then the prisoners only had fists, which did around 4 to 6 damage. I saw a corner perfect for doing the glitch my friend told me about, so I did it and got into the guard's room. The room had a pistol you could take, a taser the same as the pistol you could take, but no arrest tool. I took the pistol and the taser, and then a guard saw me and tried to tase me. Luckily he missed. Then I had time to tase him and shoot him to death. He spawned normally, nothing weird. This time he tased and arrested me. After 25 or more minutes playing this game, I got bored and left. I then played some other games on Roblox, and when it got night, I had to sleep. 11/10/2016. Warning message and my mistake. I woke up at 8:47 a.m. and had a vacation, so I was excited to play some Roblox. I logged into my account and got a message from a friend called Paperman9090 on Roblox that warned me to not abuse the door glitch on the Prison Hall game. I replied to him and said, it's just a myth. They weren't IP banned. I was bored and was going to play a recent game until I saw that the game was updated. Update Prison Hall. It was updated today, but earlier than when I woke up. It had about 22 players playing. I decided to play. He added more guns to the game and added some weird dots on the walls between the roof. He added bathrooms too, I don't know why. I abused the door glitch to get the newest gun that was a machine gun. I abused it a lot and had fun killing the cops and sometimes some prisoners. Later I got bored and formed a bit on off-topic subforum till night. Then I had to sleep. 11/12/2016. The message from the creator and something odd. I got a new message and out of curiosity I checked it. It was the same creator of the game Prison Hall. The title of the message was, "Stop it." The message was, Stop glitching in my game. Grr. I replied saying, lol, I will never stop, XD. But after clicking reply, I thought, wait, how does he know that I glitched in his game? That sounded creepy, but I just ignored and got into the game. I did a lot of glitches. I killed the guards, prisoners, same as yesterday. But I noticed something weird in the bathroom. I thought it was an update, then I checked. It was the date of the last update. I thought it was a glitch, and then as a prisoner I walked into it and the game said, wow, what is that? No one replied to me. The entire server was silenced. I thought, maybe it's just a glitch. A time it disappear. I bored, put on a YouTube, and then I watched some Roblox videos and myths. I saw a video by a YouTuber with more than 1,000 subscribers. The title was, Never Door Glitch at Prison Hall. I, curious, clicked on the video. The video told you that you should never abuse the glitch and that his friend abused his glitch and got IP banned. His account was never seen again in Roblox. Plus, if the owner of the place Prison Hall messaged you to stop glitching, you should hear and never glitch again. I then said, ugh, the owner probably made this to scare me, pretending to be someone else. After some hours of watching videos, 2 days later I still abused the glitch, sometimes and played some other games. 11/15/2016, the return of the bathroom. I then started Roblox and I played Prison Hall. The weird thing in the bathroom was back, and then I walked into the bathroom. There was no male and female bathroom, only one, and faced the thing. It was black colored, then I glitched into it. I saw something very creepy. It was scary because it had 3 Roblox characters being tortured or even dead, and a chair and a table with fire in it. The room was all black. I contacted my friend on Skype and told him about this room, and he said, wow, I told you about this. Now you're going to be IP banned. I was very sad, and then he told me about the cameras in Prison Hall and their story. The story was that a user complained about the door glitch abuse in the game, and then the creator got really mad and searched for a camera-free model. He found one. The camera-free model wasn't a common broken, poorly made free model, and yes, and good free model. The only mystery was why the creator should IP ban our accounts. And then he sent me the picture of the camera, saying, I hope we can still talk. I was very worried about not being able to play again since IP bans don't let your computer access the website never anymore. He told me that there was a rumor of a user that complained to the owner about door glitch abusers, so the creator put in camera free model, but the free model wasn't poorly made. It was a great free model of spying, but the unknown thing is how the creator of Prison Hall could ban you. Then he sent the picture of the secret camera on the Prison Hall, and the camera was that mysterious dot I found at the update. I replied to my friend saying, oh, sorry for not listening to you. He sent me the YouTube video I found at 11/12/2016. My computer started lagging a bit and a Skype tab opened, and it was the corner of Prison Hall, and he chatted me. You didn't listen to me, now you will pay. Grr. The text was red. I couldn't type anything. I tried to close Skype, I couldn't. I then tried to click on Roblox and the page failed to load. I opened Skype back and tried to type in, sorry. He replied, I don't care if you're sorry, you will regret what you made. I then saw my character in the room where the people was tortured. My computer shut down. After 10 seconds, it exploded, and fire was all over it. I had to put out the fire. I had to buy a new computer. I was traumatized and I never played Roblox again. Only other games, but I still chatted with my friend in Skype. However, I never felt the same again after what happened.
Okay, quick disclaimer before we start this story. I know a lot of these other ones have had tremendously horrible grammar mistakes and like no pronunciation or correct pronunciation or like punctuation or anything like that. But this one was the worst. This one had like over 500 errors with it that I tried to fix. I was able to do pretty okay with the previous ones, but this one was bad, so I apologize if this one is confusing or if it sounds like really off compared to others. It's not my fault. I tried, but yeah, it was already a mess to begin with. But let's get into it. Nostalgia. To begin, my name is Joshua Doppel. Weird name, I know. Currently, I am at the age of 16. Race Caucasian. I have a freckle on my nose and my hair is black. The hairstyle is showing my forehead, and my forehead is covered in scars after the years of scraping pimples off. I currently do not have any so-called friends. It is much more fitting to call them my classmates my teacher paired me up with. Also, my dad abandoned me at birth, and my pet dog died on one of my birthdays. Oh boy. My arm is unfortunately cursed with a muscle problem that doesn't cripples my hand, writing in basic movement at the joints. As a result, this reflects on my quality of my typing, as I can only type with one arm. I admit that saying I type with one hand sounds suggestive and dirty when people hear it. Yeah, that's why this story has a lot of grammar issues, but I wasn't gonna read all of that because of how confusing it was. Anyways, let's keep going. My mother works at a restaurant. I like Rock, Foster the People, Queen, ELO, Yes, and King Crimson. Although I like some of those bands only because they were mentioned in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The rest are the result of hearing them so often on the radio. Alright, that seems enough. I am very thankful for you listening to this. Anyways, I knew a guy named Chuck when I was around about 10. He didn't come to the same school as me or lived in the same neighborhood, and as far as I know, I never met him in the streets when I was inside of my mother's car. Really, I only knew indirectly through this game, Roblox. Of course, as a 10-year-old, I was one of those kids who asked everyone for friend requests, not even bothering to converse with them. And it wasn't like if they did accept the friend request, our relationship would get more genuine. I met Chuck like that. Our relationship never exactly flourished. It was in the nature of both of us just following each other in servers while never talking to each other at all. In fact, I never realized that he joined unless I saw the leaderboard with the friend icon next to his name. Just seeing the name itself does not help me recognize that he was on my friends list. Now, after some years, I quit the game. Not because I grew away from it, but because I had to move away to a new state, Idaho. At least for 5 years, I had not touched the website because of this. Eventually, I did return for the sake of boredom, and logged into my account. I noticed that once I logged in, there was a message. The message was a course from Chuck. It had the subject, "Look, I know that we haven't talked in a while. Interested, I opened the DM. The body was written like this. Alright, I'm sorry, but I need your help, not so much money, but just to read through this thing. Please do not close this as a friend. I need you to read this. Alright, I met you somewhere about 8 years ago and we never really had known each other, so I should begin." After there, it was him just describing himself and his usual business. I cut this part out of the DM mainly because it also contained very personal information, including his username and password of his account. However, nearly at the end, there was this written. Alright, I told you this because my fingers are slowly disappearing, or more specifically, I've been under some magic or something I don't understand yet. So far, I only have 4 fingers to type with, 3 on my left and 1 on my right. I just lost them this month, and everyone is acting so weird as if they don't know me. Even though my parents pushed me out of the house thinking I was a thief, I have no idea what is going on. I am beginning to lose my stuff in my room with my fingers too. I even think I am starting to become pale. I lost my finger in my left hand. Okay, I need to tell you quickly that I need you to remember me, and go into my account and take all of my stuff, places or models, and keep it in your account. Sorry for the bad typing, I don't have time. Try to do something before I disappear completely. Sorry, I have to go. I immediately thought this was a joke, of course. I mean, I randomly requested people wherever I played, so it might as well just been true that this was a weak practical joke just to unnerve me. There was a YouTube link at the bottom of the message though, a video with another link in the video description. That link sent me to another website. It was crudely made, with bad fonts for the words and outdated gimmicks within the website. Creepy, but otherwise it looked like an amateur design. I can't give the link because I forgot to save it on my bookmark. I mean, I get it as a joke, probably otherwise I downloaded the models by him into my computer and placed them in my own place. Later on, only after a day later, I became curious to go to the website again, and went to read the DM of Chuck's message. It wasn't there. Apparently it got deleted. At least I thought so. I didn't know you could delete DMs. And then I went to his profile to message him for the website link again. His account wasn't there. I guess by this point he got himself banned and got his account removed. Not sure what for. I then just remembered that I could have looked at my search history on my browser to find it. I looked into my history to realize that it was completely gone. It might have been because I viewed the website incognito, so that if it turns out to be a video of something heavily illegal, I wouldn't have that visible in my history. Except I don't remember that happening. Alright, this is where I end for now. I thought this was creepy and would interest you guys if I had written it on this website. While I do understand that writing here destroys my credibility of the story, I wanted to have this known to only a few people. Now, the reason I am writing this on this website is because I realized two things. I don't have a year left, and Chuck really did disappear, except for the memory I have of him. I'm not sure what happened, but for some reason he was entirely forgotten. Even when I contacted his friends on Roblox, they didn't even know who he was. I got to the point that I nearly accepted the fact that he did get his existence erased off of this world, but I remember this. The model by Chuck I saved in my place, and when I checked Roblox Studio, the place I kept it in was gone. It was an empty base plate, nothing on it, nothing hidden. I even took a look at my save files, nothing. So I concluded that he didn't exist anymore by that point, unless he managed to remove every single trace of his account, including his built models, and paid his friends to screw with me. I still persistently try to recover the models, but so far no progress is made. I also suspect that whatever happened to me happened to Chuck, and whatever occurred is a force that is unrelated to Roblox. Recently I began losing my tooth, and not in a way of tooth decay or it falling. My gum surface became rounded without teeth, and no holes for the filling. It was like my tooth came out and healed within a night. This, and it might be a coincidence, but my new pet cat disappeared. My money in the locked piggy bank was empty with the lock number changed back to its default setting, and the rooms that were added during the renovation of my house began to become walls without anything beyond it. Now I am starting to be a little paranoid. I wanted to keep my cool, but I want some assurance. And this is why I made this story on this website, so you can remember me. Please, I don't want to cease to exist if whatever is happening is real. So please God, do something so you won't forget. Or at least try to remember this phenomenon so that someone could find a way to fix it. I fear that it is too late for me, and if what I believe is true, you, the reader, could be too. Because I could conclude in some theories. 1. The process of slowly disappearing could begin from viewing the website. This is the reason why I avoided posting the link of the website or any detailed description of it here. I fear that it will affect you too. If you view it, someone's curiosity would lead to finding it and it spreading to other people. 2. The process of disappearance begins once you read a message from another person suffering from it, and I am sorry for you if this is the case, but if this is true, then the website is just explaining the phenomenon to those suffering from it. The apparent rush production of the website can be proof of this. 3. This has been occurring to everyone and we didn't notice. That's because whoever is under the influence is forgotten out of history, as well as the evidence of their existence. Again, I hope people will understand this exists. People can disappear at any time, and we need to do our best to combat this by remembering them. Yeah, I apologize for all the grammar issues. This story wasn't bad, but the website he was referring to, or sorry, he or she was referring to was Roblox Creepypasta Wiki. So, take this story with a grain of salt. I don't even, what am I doing anymore?
The Roblox forums were used for discussing and socializing with other people in a text-based format. The forums housed different subforums that each had their purposes. The forums were introduced on June 30th, 2004, and were closed on December 4th, 2017, after a post by an admin account announced their eventual removal, which happened a week later on December 11th. This story is about said forums, and is about an incident that occurred to a player within them. Everyone liked the forums before they got deleted, right? I did too, especially Roblox Talk. Roblox Talk was for players to discuss random things like, my crush starts with the letter H, or other things. One day I got on the forums and I was searching for weird discussions. I saw a discussion named, RT is dead. It isn't dead yet, but why did they make that post? I checked it and this was in the post. Hello. So you may be wondering what this thread is about and why it is called RT is dead. It will be dead in an hour. If you like this subforum and don't want that to happen, please join this group called Name Deleted. Thank you for becoming a part of this group, ZachR755. This group was paranormal. 5 minutes after I replied to that post, it got deleted. I decided to join the weird group. I went to the comments to know what this is all about. The comments were nothing. They were spams and other things. A countdown in the group appeared saying, 1 hour till destruction. I never saw anything like this before. Maybe it's a late April Fool's joke? Almost 1 hour was over, and the countdown had 1 minute 34 seconds till destruction. I decided to check the forums. The forums were crazy. They were all about the countdown. Only 1 minute was left. I got scared as hell and decided to write a post about it. Everyone is talking about the countdown. Why is the countdown happening? Only 30 seconds till something will happen. Well, I guess it's time to say goodbye. I was looking at the screen. Only 5 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 was the thing I was hearing in my head. And when it hit 0, my browser shut down. I was wondering what was going to happen. I was about to go to sleep. Suddenly my browser opened. It was on the forum page. Roblox Talk was renamed to Roblox Dead. Posts were called, "Why did you did this? Button mash 987. I swear I didn't do anything. I wasn't the one that started it at all. It was him, C00lKidd. I went to his profile to friend him and send him a message, but he was terminated. It's all his fault. This would never have happened because of him. Now I have 0 friends and 0 followers. Everywhere I go, I get haters. I swear I got in the previous post, haters. Still haters. I wrote another post saying, guys, I didn't did this. It was C00lKidd. But he was later terminated and made me owner. Please forgive me for everything I have did. Roblox team is trying to make it better now, but it isn't better anymore. Just please forgive me. Replies, still haters. I tried to message my friend on Facebook, but that didn't work too. I was literally pissed about it. I wanted to cut myself 3 times, but later the replies were still haters. My insanity meter has gone to maximum. I downloaded a hacking program and hacked every server, every player, and just everyone. They later terminated me too, but yet it was my alt. When I went to my alt, the 404 page shows up with Zakar's player, with red eyes and a black smile, blood dripping from his mouth. Then it later changed to the classic Builderman page. I went to my account. The replies were deleted and replaced to good replies. I suddenly got moderator and many friends, but not for long. They terminated my other accounts and left my normal one. My internet connection went down the hill, and then I literally got disconnected. I connected to another Wi-Fi. I came back to the main page of Roblox, but it was on fire. I felt the fire on my skin. I didn't have it on myself though. I checked the forums. Everything was the same. Roblox Talk was still Roblox Dead. I saw a post, and yet, his name was C00lKidd is back. Our tiers are complete idiots. He didn't do anything, lol, it was me. I accidentally left him to be the owner, and somehow the name of the owner changed too. Well, I'll just tell him to delete the group. He then friended me and messaged me about everything. I told him that I saw the post and that I deleted the group. Later that day, everything was back to being completely normal. Roblox Dead was renamed back to Roblox Talk. The fire wasn't there, and posts were normal. But actually, it wasn't how I was thinking. C00lKidd is back, renamed himself to C00lKidd's ghost. He invited me to a party and I accepted. I was surprised. He had a game called Your Nightmare. I joined it and almost fainted. I saw pictures of the Roblox team dead. It disconnected me a minute later. I grabbed a bucket and puked in it. I looked at the game again and I saw his player. It was his player but completely black. Black clothes, black hats, everything. And yet he had a weird face. It looked like a demon face or something. I closed the game and looked at his profile. He had OBC? What? How can he have OBC, I thought? I went to the forums and wrote a post about this mysterious player. Yo, you guys know who C00lKidd is? He's officially mysterious. Just looked at his avatar. Link deleted. I blocked him and reported him because he had a pretty scary place called Your Nightmare. Don't hate on me, but it is real. After that, he replied with, "You're never coming back." He then spammed links to the picture from the game. The post was later deleted and he was terminated with an IP ban, which I was pretty happy about. I went to sleep and then I saw a black figure standing. It had no face, no hair, just completely black. I opened the window and no one was there. I turned around, no one was there too, but I saw a part of the black body. I think I was hallucinating. I went back to sleep. When I woke up, I jumped into my chair and looked at the forums. Only one discussion thread was there. You're all dead. I clicked on it and the posts were only, what is this? After this whole thing, I quit Roblox. I went to play some other online games. Maybe I'll return to Roblox. But remember, he is always watching you, forever.
I didn't mean to join the game. That's the part that still bothers me. It was late, maybe around 2 AM, and I was scrolling through old Roblox profiles after watching one of those creepy abandoned account videos on YouTube. Most of the profiles were fake, obvious bait, weird usernames with red eyes in the thumbnails, and edgy bios trying too hard to be unsettling. Then I found a profile called ImYourWorstFearHide. No avatar, no friends, no badges, just a blank gray character wearing the default smile. The account was created in 2020. The weirdest part was the bio. You already saw me. At first, I laughed because it sounded corny, but something about the profile felt wrong. Not scary, just empty, like it wasn't supposed to be found. The account only had one game, Fear. No visits count, no description, no thumbnail. I clicked on the servers tab out of curiosity, and only one person was active. One player, and the green online icon besides the profile picture was glowing. I hesitated for a second before joining, but I clicked it anyways, and the loading screen took way longer than usual. The Roblox music never played, and no UI appeared either. Eventually, I spawned into a massive empty field under a dark night sky. The grass stretched forever in every direction, waving slightly in the wind, but there was no trees, no buildings, no ambient noise except for a sound that sounded like humming. But that's when I checked the player list. There was only 2 names, me and ImYourWorstFearHide. I looked around immediately, expecting some kind of jump scare or monster or creature or something, but there was nothing, just endless grass. Hello? I typed in chat. No response. This is when I started walking, and at first I thought the game was unfinished. There was literally nothing there, but after maybe 2 minutes of wandering, I noticed something far away near the horizon. A silhouette, a player, standing perfectly still, and that's when I stopped moving. But the figure didn't. It slowly walked away sideways into the darkness until it disappeared. My stomach dropped, and I told myself it was just the owner messing with people. But still, I kept playing, and I don't know why. Maybe because it felt so strangely realistic. The movement didn't look like a normal Roblox animation. The character moved stiffly, almost like it was gliding through the grass instead of walking. I chased after where I saw it, but there was nothing. No players, no structures, just the empty field again. Then the chat appeared. I see you. I froze. The message wasn't from the system. It was from him, and I quickly typed back, "Where are you?" No response, and a minute passed. Then another message appeared. "Turn around." I actually felt nervous doing it, but I turned my camera slowly, and there he was, not far behind me. The default gray character stood motionless in the grass. No animation, no idle movement, just staring directly at me, and I backed away immediately. The moment I moved, he disappeared. He didn't walk away, he didn't run, he was just gone. The player list still showed him in the game, and I left instantly, but that wasn't the end of it. The next day, I was playing random Roblox horror games with friends when one of them asked a weird question. "Who's that dude behind you?" That's when I turned my camera, and way off in the distance of the map, partially hidden behind a wall, was a gray Roblox character, just watching us. And before I could zoom into it, it vanished. My friend thought it was just another player, but I checked the player list, and no one else was in the server besides us. But that's when I remembered the bio. You already saw me. Over the next week, I started noticing him everywhere. Different games, different servers, just always in the background, whether it be standing on rooftops, behind windows, behind trees, or just anywhere. It was never close enough to fully see though. And every time I tried approaching him, he disappeared, and I became obsessed. I searched online for information about the account, but almost nobody talked about it. The only mentions I found were on old forum posts and TikTok videos from 2021, where people claimed to see a gray avatar watching them in empty servers. Most replies called them fake, but one post stood out to me though. A user claimed that ImYourWorstFearHide was online, and that the game fear would change. So that's when I waited a couple nights before I finally saw the green online icon again. My friends were actually shaking when I joined because this time I realized the map was made yesterday. And when I clicked on it, the map was the same, but it was a little bit different. This time the grass was taller, the sky was darker, and there was fog, and the player list still only just showed us, but now I could hear footsteps. Not mine. Slow crunching sounds moving through the grass somewhere nearby. I started walking carefully, trying to find where the sound came from. Then I noticed something impossible. There were other players, not on the player list. Shapes standing far away in the field, dozens of them, motionless. Some looked like Roblox avatars, others looked unfinished, like broken player models missing limbs and faces. And as I moved closer, they all slowly turned toward me at the same time. Then the footsteps stopped. The chat opened. They looked too. Suddenly, every figure in the field started moving towards me, not running, walking. The grass around me rustled from every direction, or at least that's what I thought, as the humming got louder. I panicked and sprinted randomly through the fog while the footsteps grew louder and louder behind me. Then I saw him again. ImYourWorstFearHide, standing directly in front of me, closer than ever before. His default smile was stretched unnaturally wide across his face texture, just like how it was in the new game thumbnail, and above his head was a sentence that wasn't there before. Why didn't you notice me? My screen froze, and the Roblox menu wouldn't open. I tried to Alt F4 and turn off my computer, but nothing was happening. And then the sound went silent. There was nothing, just silence. Then my camera slowly forced itself upward towards the sky. At first, I thought more stars were appearing, but they weren't stars. They were usernames. Thousands of faint usernames floating in the darkness above the map. Just watching. Every single one slowly faded in and out, and mixed among them, I swear I saw mine. And after this, the game instantly closed itself. No crash message, no error, just gone. So maybe the Alt F4 did work, but why did it take so long? Afterward, I checked the account again. The profile still existed, but the game fear was deleted and showed a content deleted ID instead. And now the character had badges and a bunch of other things. But it was from the games I was just playing. But then I refreshed it and it was all gone. Almost like it never existed at all. The only thing left unchanged was the bio. I stopped playing Roblox for a while after that, but sometimes late at night I still catch myself checking distant corners of the map because, well, he might still be there. Again, as always, I want to thank Dr. Creepypasta for helping me make this video. This is our third collaboration together, and I am sure there will be more in the future, as I have a lot more ideas for more Creepypasta Iceberg videos to come. So if you enjoyed it, please subscribe to me and him, as more videos like this will be releasing in the distant future. And I also do want to apologize for the quality of a lot of these stories. There was just a lot of grammar issues and a lot of repeating words and names and all kinds of stuff. Anyways, on screen right now is our other previous Creepypasta Iceberg videos, so if you like this one, go check those ones out.